Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon and welcome. I'd like to tell you a little bit about our new PLR, which is Organize and Delegate with Basecamp. And we're going to be spending a few minutes just kind of talking about that, as well as some ways that you can make this PLR work in your business. Okay, so as always, you can go and pick up our most recent PLR. You can do that by going to the plrshow.com/new, and then you can always pick up the PLR right there. And it is available now. And of course, as always, the price is rising with every sale. So you do want to go ahead and pick it up. Okay, so let's see. I want to turn this down. Okay, so this afternoon, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what the course is about. We're going to talk about what's covered in the course. I'm going to talk about what is the big idea. So, why are we doing base camp and why is it important? What's in it, right? We want to talk about that. We also want to talk about what's in it for you, right? That's even more important than what's in the course. And then what's monetizable, right? So we want to talk about how you can make this work and ways that you can put it in your business and ways that you're going to be able to use the content that's in there in order to help your customers and your clients. And then, of course, we'll talk about what's next. We'll talk about what's coming up next in terms of our lineup. Okay. Um, so what I want to do right now is I'm going to borrow from the video mind map. Right, it's not currently in the course, but we might put it in the course. Right, I might put it in there just kind of based on what we do. So right now, let's do a mind map with video. So let's talk about organizing and delegating with Basecamp. That is the name of the course. So, who's this course for? Right? Who's the course for? Anyone that has projects that they're responsible for, uh, anyone that has to collaborate with other people to complete projects. Anybody that wants an easy way to get feedback from clients while they're delivering, right? While they're doing it. Anybody that wants to place online to document their conversations and their interactions around their projects. So, how's the course done? The course is 20 over the shoulder videos showing you how to use Basecamp. It is also the basics of online project management. That's going to be a part of the process. So when was the course recorded? It was recorded in March of 2018. And why is this important? Why is it important for people to know about Basecamp? Because Basecamp is basically an affordable way to clarify goals, right? And to keep people accountable. So if you're working with other people and you want to be able to visibly keep them accountable on the project you're working on with them, Basecamp is a tool. And again, it's a very affordable tool. Even if you don't take into account they've got a 30 or 60-day trial in some cases, the act alone of using Basecamp will make you more productive. You'll get more done. You'll probably get more launched, and you'll be able to keep people accountable as they're working with you. It's also a way that as you progress, right, as you keep track of your own progress, you'll be motivated to take more action. You'll be motivated to do more. The more that you see getting done, the more that you see getting completed, the more that you will want to do. And what happens in whether you're an online entrepreneur, whether you're an online marketer, whether you're an information marketer, writer, or freelancer, you've probably found that what you do is you get more done and then you're motivated to do more. What's most discouraging is if you spend a whole day, you sat at your desk and you look up and then nothing is done. Well, Basecamp will help you to do that because most of us have multiple projects we've got to do. And so the question isn't whether or not I can get them all on one to do list. Everybody knows how to do that. What's difficult is how do I manage multiple to do lists? How do I manage multiple things to do? And Basecamp will help you to do that and help you to do that visibly. So, what's covered in the course? We're going to cover the three versions of Basecamp. So there are three different versions, and you want to think about which one you want to get. We're going to show you how to install the mobile version of 2.0. In fact, what the course covers is Basecamp 2.0. Basecamp 3.0 is right at that level of cost where if you're not necessarily using everything, you may want to move up to that. So we chose to cover Basecamp 2.0. We're going to talk about customizing your profile, and that's actually more important than just your name and email address. There's some reasons why you want to customize your profile. We covered that in the course. Talk about customizing your Basecamp settings so that you will again get the kind of notifications you'll be able to interact with Basecamp and the way you want to interact. We want to talk about project creation. That's the main focus of Basecamp. We're going to talk about how to structure your how to do your to-do list, how to manage the overall projects, and then again, how to set up your notifications, how to track the entire project, how to set up your project calendars, how to project participants or how to use project participants, and then how to use project templates. I'm going to talk about how to create project content with email, and then how to use some of the navigation shortcuts inside of your project. Now, there is an advanced course, and the advanced course is much different. What we're going to do is going to talk about working with groups. And again, a very important reason as to why you want to do that. If you want to work with an outside client and you want to have them involved in your Basecamp project, but you don't want to show them everything that you're doing. There are ways to do that inside of Basecamp. We're gonna show you how to work with outsourcers because outsourcers fall someplace between your actual team and somebody who's working from the outside. I'm going to show you how to manage outsourcers. I'm going to show you how to manage entirely people who are not on Basecamp. So how do you bring them into a discussion? And then we're going to talk about how you integrate into programs like Outlook. You're probably using some kind of calendar and to do program. I'm going to show you how to integrate into that. We're going to show you 3 integrations with Zapier, Dropbox, email, and then a number of Google functions, as well as how to strategize your interface. There's a way to go about setting up your interface so that you'll be able to manage an entire project. And then we're going to show you how to assemble a team inside of Basecamp, show you how to create the groups. I'm going to show you how to do to-do lists because basically what we're going to do in the advanced course is we show you the integrations, we're going to walk you through a basic live example. So how would you set up a project? So the rest of these are going to be about how you set up a project once we've gone through those advanced features. It's basically a hands-on course on how you really do set it up. So setting dates, team assignments, tracking and managing progress, and then creating and using templates. And finally, how do you remove and adjust participants? So, in other words, somebody becomes part of your team, they get a project done, and then you don't want to have them on future projects. In fact, you don't even want them on your Basecamp team. You want to be able to let them go. We're going to show you how to do that. There are a couple of steps that you definitely want to do, and you need to do that. And this course will show you how to do that. So, what's the big idea? The big idea is that managing projects, right, is as important as managing to-do lists. All of us know how to manage to-do lists. Basically, we know how to either use a tool like Google or like Microsoft Outlook, or maybe you just use a pencil and paper. And those are very effective tools in being able to look at something and say, hey, you know what? I finished this. I'm going to scratch this off. And again, that's very common, and most of us default to that. The problem is that when we do this, the important things don't get done. The only thing that gets done are the most urgent things, or the things that might get you fired, or the things that might get you in trouble, or the things that might put you sideways. So what you do is you put all of those things on your to-do list and you wipe those things out, and you're good at getting those things done. And then what happens is a week later you look up and then your project isn't done, your launch isn't done, or maybe you want to put some effort into something that's going to be a little more long term, and those things are a little more difficult to do when you're not putting those things on your to-do list. And again, learning how to manage projects using tools like Basecamp are important tools for you to use in terms of being able to put your important things right alongside of the urgent things and then get them done on a regular basis. Basically, Basecamp will show you and help you to become a deadline manager. And that's really what this course is really designed to help you do. Okay. Any questions about that? Okay, any questions? Any questions? Okay, so what's in the course, right? So what's in it? Well, you're going to get 20 MP4 over the shoulder screen sharing videos, 20 MP3 audios, a sales editor and thank you pages, right? Sales video and script, lead magnet page, And then basically, let me kind of take a step back. Now, way before I did this slide, what's in it, right? I basically did what's called a video mind map, right? Now that basically that entire section is something that you could take that entire piece and you could give that to your client. You can use that as an additional video. You can use that as a lead magnet. And so basically, you're showing people what's going to be in the course. Now, I covered that on your behalf, right? That you would give to your customers, those of you who are on this call or you're listening to this. And so what I'll probably do here is I'm probably going to go back and I'll edit this. I'll take that one piece out and I will add that to the package. Right. So for a limited time, I'll add that to the package. And then you'll have that video mind map that I just completed as part of your package. So again, so now let's kind of get back to what's in it for you, right? The marketer, the internet marketer, the information marketer. You're going to get basically all the content and everything you need in order to sell the package or market it, right? So that's basically what's in it. So what's monetizable about this package, right? So how do you make this monetizable? It's going to be anybody looking for time management. So if you've got anybody in your universe, or anybody that you sell to that wants to learn how to manage their time better. And again, that goes across any niche, right? So people who want to learn how to manage projects and they're not able to get things done, just as I explained on your behalf in the video mind map, really learning how to move from managing a to-do list to managing projects is a step that people need to be able to take. And again, it is a skill, it is something that has to be developed, but you need an effective tool to do that. And then Basecamp can help you do that. You can use this course in order to show people how to do that. It's great for anybody looking for personal development, right? They're not able to get things done. You're going to be able to help them to get things done by showing them this course. Anything that you want to sell on productivity, right? So let's say that you want to sell a course or you want to sell a product. Let's say you want to sell a journal product and you want to sell it. It's all about productivity. You can use this course, right? The Basecamp course to pre-sell it because basically what you're doing is you're giving people you're putting handles on this idea of being more productive. Anything that you have in terms of a membership, this is going to hurt. This is going to help people because again, this is about getting things done. This course. So again, you want to take this course and put it inside of your business membership. So if you're selling anything that has to do with, doesn't even have to do with internet marketing, anything that has to do with helping people to achieve their goals, this is a great course to include inside of your membership. This should be on your resources page, right? So if you have a resources page on your site, this should be on it, right? You should have something directing people to this course, showing them how to get Basecamp, and then basically, if you have students, you have people coming to your webinars on a regular basis, you need to train them how to finish projects. Because if you're a coach in internet marketing, if you are if you have clients, right, business clients, the number one thing that you need to teach people is probably not going to always be a strategy, right? Most people can kind of figure out a strategy. And the entrepreneurs that you're talking about, they probably intuitively know how to do a strategy. Here's what trips people up in the information age is finishing stuff, right? And so basically, this course, you're going to show them how they can use a tool to finish things. So you will be a hero to the people that you are actually talking to. Right? How do you finish things? That's probably one of the most important things. And that's probably the thing that trips people up online if they're doing business online or if they're doing business independently is finishing things, right? Because people are so incredibly distracted. They're distracted by social media, they're distracted by the news, they're distracted by all the stuff that's going on online, which is really cool, and learning new things. But again, finishing things is hard to do unless you've got it visual in front of you. And again, this course is going to show you how to get your customers to understand how Basecamp will help them to do that. So again, this course is eminently monetizable. Now, what I want to do right now, right, is what I want to do right now is I want to do something that a number of you may even have this, and a number of you do not have this. I did something a while ago called the Unstuck Masterclass, right? Basically, how to get unstuck. And I'm going to show you how to teach the strategy, right? So basically, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take a little piece of this course that I did, Unstuck Masterclass, I'm going to show you how to teach this, right? So if I were going to teach this and I were going to get someone to buy a course from me on Basecamp, right? So let's say that I was not selling the PLR and I wanted to sell the course. Here is what I would present to people, and here's how I would approach it, and here is the course that I would take people through. So we start by asking, are you stuck on something? Right? Are you stuck in your professional or your business life? And I don't mean positionally. What I mean is maybe here are some of the symptoms. Maybe you feel like you've got information overload. In other words, you feel like you've got way too much you're trying to process, and you've got so much on a daily basis that you can't move forward. That your projects aren't necessarily getting finished. You're able to get through things. You sit down at your desk and you're doing work, but you're overloaded with information. Maybe you feel like you've got shiny object syndrome. In other words, you keep buying things, and typically that's not necessarily always a function of you're not a quality or in-depth person, right? That you're moving on from thing to thing. Sometimes it's just out of frustration, and sometimes it's just out of hope, because again, what happens is if we don't finish things, right, we are subject to the next thing that might work, right? And that's really what happens to people who think they have shiny object syndrome. It's really a factor of either one or two things: either they haven't narrowed down their niche enough, or they're just not finishing things. Maybe you're stuck by the paralysis of analysis. So in other words, you have a path. Maybe you want to launch something. Maybe you want to do CPA marketing. Maybe you want to do e-commerce, and so you keep looking at the problem, you keep looking at the situation, you keep thinking of scenarios, you keep trying to think of all the things, and you're really just kind of paralyzed by analyzing things. Or maybe you've got a perfection complex. In other words, you can't release something until it's quite perfect. Is that where you're stuck? Right? Are you stuck maybe because you've got a social media addiction? There's a lot of people, right? And it's even proven. I think even the social media, right? The social media barons are starting to say now that everything that you're doing on social media, right, is designed to kind of trigger dopamine, and right, that hit of dopamine kind of moves you forward, right? Is that where you're stuck? Or maybe you're just a social butterfly, right? You just like to talk, right? When you get online, you just like to interact with people, and so it keeps you from kind of getting things done. Or maybe you're Captain Minor, right? So in other words, you're majoring in the minors. You get everything done. It's just not the things that move you forward. And one way for you to trick yourself out of all of this as an information or internet marketer is to become a deadline manager. That's one of the ways for you to move yourself out of these things that are keeping you from getting to your actual goals. And so there's a 10-point plan to help you to become a deadline manager. Well, the first thing is to kind of get clear on what your goal is. And what I mean by your goal isn't I want to make $200,000 a year. That's a good start to creating a goal. A goal has to be so incredibly specific in order for you to move past it and for you to get it into your to-do list, that you have to be able to define it not just in terms of, let's say, the dollar amount or the quantity of something. You've also got to determine your time factor. So in other words, let's say that you want to generate you want to generate $100,000 in 2018. What does that break down to in terms of a month? And then you have to determine what you want to do in order to get that $100,000. You want to determine what you've got to do to get that money on a monthly basis, because you've got to know what your life is going to look like, and you got to define that. Do you want to get that $100,000 by working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Probably not, right? You probably want to get it and you want to have some time for family. So what does your life want to look like? Do you want your life to look like you want to be working 20 hours a week? Now, again, that may sound like, multi-level marketing talk. I'm not trying to do that. What I'm saying to you, though, is you do have to define what you want it to look like, because if you don't, that is what you will default to. You will default to, and internet marketers are notorious for this, working around the clock and sitting at their computer all day, right? Again, I think we're good at defining the goal. What we're not necessarily all that good at is defining the time factor that we want to look like. We have to understand how to manage intangible deadlines, right? Intangible deadlines as well, and being able to draw up our own sales materials. right? As well as developing dependencies, or in other words, figuring out how to develop relationships, right? Depending on JVs, developing do's and dates and don'ts. Right now, we also want to be able to delegate. I mean, those are the things that we want to be able to do. We want to be able to give other people something to do to help us to achieve our goals. And then we need to have accountability, right? We need to have some accountability, and we need to have like-minded people around us to help us to move forward. Now, I want you to kind of take note of this. I really blew through this. In the Unstuck Masterclass, I explained this to you, and I actually explained it to your client because what I'm going to do, or what I've already done, is I've already, right. I put base Kano, but I've already um, um, uh, outlined this, and I've already taught this, and I've already placed it inside of the package. So this is now inside of the base camp package. It's an additional bonus, right? It's going to be in there for, again, a short period of time. Again, how to become a deadline manager. You can get it. Right, you can get it today. You know, if you pick up the course today, it's going to be in there, and you're going to be able to use this as a selling tool. So this will kind of be something that you can kind of think about putting on the front end, or as an upsell, right? So again, you're making the case in strategy in order to sell the technical, right? That's how you make the case for the technical. You talk about strategy, you teach people strategy, and that creates the need for the technical, right? So I've already taught the Unstuck Masterclass, how to become a deadline manager, and I'm going to place this inside of the package. Again, if you pick it up today, you're going to be able to get it. So again, the Unstuck Masterclass webinar and slides are included for a limited time inside of the package. So again, you can pick up this PLR video course at the plrshow.com/new YT. Right. So pick it up at the plrshow.com. If you're watching by archive, /new YT. Right. New YT. So go to that address. You'll be able to pick up the new course. Okay, any questions? Any questions on anything? Right? Any questions? Any questions? So if you have any questions, you can write them there in the chat box there on YouTube. I'm probably going to just upload this to the Facebook group also. And once again, if you have any questions, feel free to just kind of put them to me. It's 2:28, so I got you out of here on time. Yeah, if you've already purchased it, then the Unstuck Master class is already in there, and I'm going to edit the video mind map probably this afternoon, and I will re-add it to the package. So you'll probably, if you check maybe about 6, right, you pick it up, you'll still get it, right? So if you've already got it, if you already picked it up already, you can still get the video mind map. The Unstuck Masterclass should be in there, right? Should already be in there. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate y'all, and have a great night and a great day and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.